And there we go. Finally, we have the very first patch in the MultiVersus life cycle. Patch 1.01 is currently live. We have patch notes to talk about. And not only that, they listened to a lot of the feedback provided from the community, from Discord, Reddit, Twitter, all over, all the bugs that you guys submitted on the website. Shout outs to you, the community that really made this happen. And these are just the first bits of changes that they're going to be doing. There are more soon to come, and I can't wait to see what else we got. So hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of those updates, because we got a lot coming your way, guys. And I'm gonna do my best to keep you all up to date. Help us at 38%, even higher. And now let's get into these notes. The best possible news, which a lot of you will be very happy about. Great news, MVPs. We made a quick change for our players. Starting now, Battle Pass XP will be granted after each PvP match, in addition to events, which more are coming, and missions. The race to Uber Jason continues. This is an awesome change. Shout outs to PFG. Shout outs to the MultiVersus team for actually doing this. It just felt like it was borderline impossible to get through this Battle Pass because of how limiting challenges were. So a lot of people like, all right, whatever, we're just gonna do some PvP matches, and you're not getting anything in regards to that. Now you are. So we wanted to take a moment to thank you all for the helpful feedback on Reddit, Discord, and other social channels. And there you go. Shout outs to you guys, the community. Before we dive into various fixes and improvements coming in this patch, we wanted to mention that Iron Giant has been taken back into the shop for maintenance, not available to play right now. We should have a status update by next week. Ooh, Iron Giant's not coming back today. Looks like he'll be back next week, unfortunately. We're also planning to address several highly requested changes soon, such as the additional performance improvements, end of game stats options to turn off team colors, the ability to swap side and neutral attack. I was hoping that was coming today. And the addition of adjustable input buffer settings, which was in the original beta and is not anymore, but thankfully they're trying to put that back in the game. I like that. We'll keep you posted on the timing. So those are not going to be included in these notes here, but there's a bunch of other good stuff. Let's dive right into it, guys. This is actually a really big deal, a lot more so than people realize. Lowered hit pause on all hits by 10% in the 1v1 modes, specifically 1v1. A lot of people are saying the game feels slow. I feel like this is like one of the very first steps that they'll be taking to make the game speed at least feel a bit quicker. There are a lot of moments where you're hitting the opponent and things just slow down, or they essentially come to a pause. They're reducing that by 10%, which should help with the game speed overall, I think, and not really negatively impact things. I think this is a positive improvement, well, specifically in 1v1 modes. In 2v2s, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, and very well will help out with combos and kill potential in 2v2s, because if you're hitting your opponent, you can keep them in place, that extra 10%, while your other teammate will come through and nail the kill. And this is a massive one, a huge requested one. Players can now try out all fighters in training mode, including fighters that they do not own. Big respect for them on changing this and making sure that this is actually a thing that we can do, because we could do it before in the beta, couldn't do it now. Now we can do it, and it's only been a week. Some bug fixes. Fix an issue where players could not complete daily rewards in Rifts mode. Fix an issue that was impacting performance on Xbox Series X and S. That's huge. The entirety of the Xbox community was just unable to play this game. Everybody was disconnecting. Somebody said that they tried like 10 matches and 7 matches in a row. Just kept disconnecting over and over again. Even custom matches, which was a big problem. You couldn't play with your friends. You couldn't play the game at all. So now you totally can. Fix an issue where beam visual effects were occasionally invisible on PlayStation consoles. I didn't know about that. Fix an issue where certain keyboard configs will cause phantom inputs in matches. Fix an issue with pause inputs conflicting in training. And now we're talking about buffs and nerfs. So again, the pluses are buffs, the minuses are nerfs, and the tildes are change. So when it comes to Arya, dash attack has been changed. Reduce the input buffer window for follow-up attacks. So after her dash attack, she'll be able to follow up with another attack much more quicker. I wonder by how much. I wonder if it's that significant. Arya mains, let me know in the comments below how you feeling about that. Banana guard, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Since the closed test, I knew this was happening. The goal of this change is to reduce the extreme kill power on Banana Guard's side specials and bring it more in line with the damage of the rest of the gas. Aerial side special has been reduced to 10 damage from 12. Ground side special reduced the damage to 12 from 14. So that also I would assume that also affects the knockback power because, I mean, they're only mentioning damage specifically here, but they do say to reduce the extreme kill power on his side specials in general. So I think that also affects the knockback too. Anybody could just pick up Banana Guard and just side special their way to easy dubs, whether they're in the air or on the ground. Now things have been, I guess, slightly reduced. I don't know how crazy he's going to be. I still think his aerial side special is a little janky for having that intangible hitbox in the very beginning. We'll have to see how this one works out. Bugs Bunny's neutral special was fixed. Before, it was causing an issue for the safe to hit repeatedly in rapid succession. This was a big problem in 2v2s where double Bugs Bunny teams will drop a safe on an opponent and it will do 700 damage in 1 second. That's seemingly gone. Garnet. Fixed an issue where Garnet and an enemy would be frozen at the end of her star grab. This was a big issue I've been seeing over the last few days where people are just posting screenshots of the time running out in matches because this move just would not function properly and just would freeze and there's nothing you could do. You couldn't exit out, you couldn't move. Gizmo up special got a little bit of a nerf right here. Ally attach cooldown now begins when Gizmo detaches from his ally instead of the beginning when Gizmo attaches to an ally. I don't think that's a huge change. That's mainly a 2v2 thing, of course. That basically means that the cooldowns are going to take a little bit longer and he won't be able to rapidly do it over and over again. So that's a pretty solid change, I think, because that move sounds like it wasn't functioning properly before. Iron Giant, as always, guys. People from 2022 will always know Iron Giant always has paragraphs of changes. The goal of these changes is to prevent the Iron Giant from chaining certain sets of attacks infinitely. While these fixes address some of the issues on Iron Giant, it will require additional fixes to bring Giant fully back online. Iron Giant will remain down for repairs until those fixes are implemented in a future patch. I kind of hope, you know, PFG, if you guys are watching this, there's a lot of people that were talking to me and saying that they literally bought Iron Giant the day that he was removed. Is it possible to maybe look into getting some of those people a little bit of a refund or at least a free character choice of their own? Because that's kind of brutal to use those points that you got and stockpiled on a character and then they just get removed because of, I mean, you haven't even contributed to the infinites, at least yet. So I hope that is the case. Ground down attack knockback angle is now more horizontal, knocking them back a little bit further away from him. Aerial neutral attack final hit will now always knocks away regardless of charge, again keeping the enemy away from him. Ground side attack got a nerf. Jab's first hitbox is slightly smaller. Rage mode pilot special reduced the strobing visual effects, and rage mode up special reduced the final hit damage from 5 to 5 from 6. So it got a little bit of a damage nerf right there. I don't see anything talking about his taunt, right? Because his taunt had an infinite with it as well. Maybe that's something that they're working internally, and that's why they said that he's going to come back next week, which also means that we could expect another patch next week, I think. And Jake actually got a fix. So his aerial ground and ground up special caused a bug that would just crash the game. So that actually has been fixed. Jason's ground down special fixed an issue where one player would disappear when Jason grabbed 2 players with the sleeping bag. I didn't even know that was a thing, but that sounds like it's just lore accurate. But that seemingly has been fixed. LeBron got a nerf. What? Basketball can now only hit 1 time per target. Wow. Okay, so that's going to make LeBron a little bit more bearable to play against on maps that have walls, like the Space Jam map and the Game of Thrones map. I personally like it as a person that plays against a lot of LeBrons, but I can only imagine LeBron mains aren't feeling too happy about that. Marvin, aerial, ground, and neutral attack. Fixed an issue where Marvin could ring out opponents instantly due to a side special projectile interaction with neutral attack. I didn't even know that was a thing. I played against a really good Marvin yesterday and didn't notice any of that, but I'm glad that it's a fix that they found. Rain Dog, aerial side attack. Knockback angle is now more horizontal. Okay. Aerial up attack. Knockback angle is now more horizontal. So these attacks are now hitting further away from him. They normally do this if the character has sort of like an infinite or a crazy combo with it. I don't know of Rain Dog having any of that. Any Rain Dog mains, could you let me know if this actually gets rid of that? And then Shaggy over here got a bunch of changes as well. The goal of this change is to not allow, I love that they give this explanation, by the way. This is really clutch. To not allow neutral air attack to combo back into jab combo at all damage levels. There are a few issues introduced with this change that we will address in the next patch. This actually introduced more issues. I don't understand that. So aerial neutral, I heard about this last night. Shaggy essentially had, some people called it an infinite. It's not an infinite. It's like basically a 0 to 100. From 0 to 100, he can chain aerial neutral airs over and over again from his jabs in order to lock you in and deal massive damage. So now the base knockback has been increased to 1700 from 1300. That's pretty significant. Knockback scaling increased to 14 from 13. Knockback angle is more horizontal. Damn, they did everything to keep the opponents out of this. And on hit cancel window delayed by 10 frames. Wow. I think that if you're gonna do all this, you gotta give Shaggy back the sandwich, man. Give Shaggy back his sandwich and being able to use it in other moves and combo with it, guys. Steven Universe got some changes here and a nerf. Aerial up attack. Sweet spot hitbox delayed 1 frame later to match when Steven has his hands clapped together. And aerial down attack on hit cancel window delayed by 3 frames. Steven's been a pretty solid character since the game officially released. We're seeing a lot of crazy high level play with him. I want to know from you guys in the comments below that play Steven, that main Steven, how much does this actually change his down air, and what shenanigans can you not do with them now? Stripe got a buff. Aerial down attack. It has more downward momentum, is maintained on attack startup. He basically retains his momentum and can use his down attack, his down air essentially, to get closer to the target much quicker. I have this issue with Wonder Woman sometimes where I'll do the down air and the momentum, I did it on the rising part of her down air and I just like she floats down instead of like falling down. That's a problem with me though. That's not necessarily a problem with the character. Taz got a buff. His aerial and ground side special increased damage on non-cooldown tornado final hit to 8 from 7, so it has more kill potential on the non-cooldown tornado. Okay, so Tasman's getting some love right there. And Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's lasso was a bit too oppressive to play against without any limiter, so we decided to add a short cooldown to the ability. Okay, so Wonder Woman is back to how she was in the original beta. So her aerial, ground, and neutral special, the lasso, has an 8-second cooldown now. I will admit that this move was pretty wild to see that it has had no more cooldown. In the beta, I believe it was like a 15-second cooldown, then they dropped it to 12 seconds. So 8-second is still pretty good. Now you can't really just camp out ledges with Wonder Woman, because there's a really cool like thing that she would be able to do where she could throw out a lasso at the very tip edge of the stage, and if she had the knockback lasso on, she can get some kills with that as well. So that seemingly is not going to be happening as often anymore. 8 seconds, guys. Yeah, I think this is a solid change. I feel like her lasso itself isn't what makes the character so good, so I don't think this is going to drop her any further down from the top tiers. She's still going to be, her kit overall is still really good. However, this is going to nerf the movement lasso, right? The one that you can use to pull yourself in to do more combos. I feel like this is actually going to be nerfing that pretty hard, actually. Might be unusable now. Wow, that's kind of rough. I feel like they should differentiate that. If you're going to use the movement perk for Wonder Woman to use her lasso to pull you into enemies, this should probably have maybe a lesser cooldown or maybe no cooldown, since that doesn't hit the enemy. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, but I still think Wonder Woman's top tier regardless, because even in the beta, she had a cooldown on her lasso and she was still putting in work, and now it seems like things are a little bit more in line with that, and she can't just be a little bit too spammy with it. I don't know why they removed the cooldown in the first place. I was kind of shocked by that change. At least her pressure has gotten a little bit more normalized, right? And I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What do you think of all these changes? Are you happy about them? What do you still want to be changed? I know a lot of people are going to be talking about the speed, but I think the first step with the hit pause is a pretty good way to start, and we'll see how things feel now in a 1v1 setting and how much better this actually makes the gameplay overall. And remember, they said that this is just the first of many changes they have coming soon as well, as they did say that more things will be coming next week. But again, keep reporting your bugs, keep on messaging them on Twitter, keep it up on Discord and Reddit, and ultimately these things that we want to see get adjusted will be adjusted, and the game will be in the best possible state it can be. Now, hilarious enough, I made a tier list video yesterday. I think I'm still gonna release it and put a disclaimer in the beginning, because I don't feel like characters got significantly impacted as much with those changes. Like, we lowered Iron Giant and we kept Shaggy within a decent tier as well. I think outside of that, no other characters besides Banana Guard actually got significant changes. I still think Banana Guard is going to be really good because of his hitboxes and the way that he works as a character, but we'll see. Stay tuned for that video. It'll be dropping later today. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More MultiVersus content is on the way and you don't want to miss it. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.